Okay, so now let's jump onto our next story. And with the next story that I do have, holy crap, are people infuriated about this news. In fact, I would debatably say that this is possibly the most controversial animation news of the week. Like, people are mad at this, like how hedge fund billionaires are upset over redditors because of making the GameStop stocks go way up. You know, that kind of anger. So with that said, I might as well go straight into it. Let's go ahead and talk about the Thomas the Tank Engine controversy, specifically the leaked trailer of the 25th season of Thomas and Friends. And before I get things started, I just want to go and make a quick statement that when it comes to this trailer, I'm not actually going to go and show it in full. And the reason why I'm not going to do so is, as I just said, or I think I actually said that, but the thing is that this trailer right here is not officially released. This was actually a leak that someone on social media managed to find within the databases of Mattel and put it out on the internet, and thus the entire Thomas fan base just completely freaked out and already expressed their opinions. Now, I know that I'm going to be releasing this on YouTube, so I am a little bit hesitant to show this thing in full, even though that technically this is actually a very short clip. This is just like 45 seconds now, 45 seconds long. I'm not going to show it in its entirety. I'll show like little clips here and there, but I'm not going to show everything at once, because right now Mattel is in a position where they're pretty much taking clips down one by one wherever they could find on YouTube. And some people may interpret that as like, oh, they're taking away our freedom of speech. They're trying to get rid of all the negative opinions. No, it's not like that. It's actually because this is not supposed to be shown to the public. This is only within the group of people within the business of Mattel. It was only meant for them only. In fact, even this trailer here, it actually does state, like, throughout everything, it actually says in the bottom, Mattel Confidential, do not distribute. Like, technically, the Thomas fans are doing something that they shouldn't by by pretty much distributing when it says right in front of their faces, do not distribute. So I'm not going to be showing this in full. But with that said and done, though, there is one thing that I would like to go and clarify before really putting my thoughts into this. And this is basically regarding Thomas and Friends and with the whole Thomas the Tank Engine franchise in general. Because I know that there are plenty of people out there, especially within my own fan base, that are major Thomas fans. But when it comes to me, however, I'm going to be very honest, I know absolutely nothing about Thomas. Maybe at the most, as a child, I probably have seen a few episodes of Thomas the Tank Engine. But other than that, though, I have no memory whatsoever about Thomas. I know nothing about it. I barely even know any of the characters. I have heard about Thomas the Tank Engine, and I have heard about the memes. But when it comes to Thomas, honestly, I have no memory of seeing any episodes. I haven't seen any episodes. My knowledge on Thomas the Tank Engine is practically minimal. In fact, the most that I have ever seen of Thomas the Tank Engine is probably the Kid Icarus episode where he reviewed the Japanese video game of Thomas the Tank Engine, which, by the way, I just find that one absolutely hilarious. If you haven't seen it, regardless if you are a Thomas fan or not, I highly recommend you do so because, oh my god, I mean, Kid Icarus is generally a great and hilarious YouTuber, but that episode in particular was just a lot of fun. Henry slept with my wife. But yeah, it's just definitely great. But yeah, this is all to say that, with what I'm about to talk about here, one thing to go and highly emphasize is that this is all going to be coming from the perspective of someone who is not a Thomas fan. This is like an outsider's perspective of the Thomas and Friends 25th season trailer. But if there is one thing that I do know about Thomas the Tank Engine, other than the fact that he's a train, is the fact that there are very few franchises out there in which their fan base are devoted to their property more so than Thomas the Tank Engine. Like, yeah, sure, the Thomas fan base is not as big as something like Star Wars, but the fans devote their lives to that franchise as much as Star Wars. When people love Thomas, they love Thomas. They, like, pretty much their lives are all about Thomas. Whatever they consume is mostly Thomas. Like, they devote a good chunk of their lives entirely on either watching Thomas, reading Thomas, buying Thomas merchandise, just all about Thomas. But with that said, though, what is it about this one in particular? Like, even though I'm someone who doesn't know anything about Thomas, why is it that I feel like I want to talk about this? Well, the thing is actually not regarding the trailer itself, but rather how everyone else feels about this Thomas in particular. That holy crap, it has been years since we have seen the entire internet explode in anger, be completely enraged over a trailer, over just like not even a minute long of clips of an animated reboot for an animated series. Because one thing's for sure, holy crap, are people massively upset over this interpretation of Thomas and Friends. Like, people are mad. And I mean, like, explosively mad. And one thing that I will say, though, is that people are so upset that maybe they're not aware of this, but they're pretty much going through the exact same kind of reactions that we normally see from the internet regarding animated reboots. Like, the kind of explosive and over-the-top angry reactions that we have seen on shows such as Teen Titans Go, and with Thundercats Roar, and with DreamWorks She-Ra, and many, many others. Those are the exact same ones that we are seeing regarding this Thomas in particular. And we have seen, like, all the comments that you could think of when people get angry over animated reboots. Oh, they have, the Thomas fan base has guaranteed to have said that this is the worst thing that they have ever seen in their lives. They want to die after watching this. Their childhood is ruined. Oh yeah, like, you would be surprised at the amount of people who said unironically, my childhood is ruined because of this. What else is there? What else? They would say things like, what I've just seen is cancer. The creator is rolling in his grave if they ever saw this. This is nothing like Thomas. This is the worst thing ever coming from Thomas. The people who worked on this should be ashamed of themselves. The Mattel is public enemy number one. We must stop them from making this show. They need to stop this. We need to make change.org petitions to say stop this show. Like, they went through every single comment in the book. Like, so much so that all we need is just for one person to say that the animation is bad because it's the CalArt style, and we pretty much got the complete set of butthurt fanboy reactions of an animated reboot trailer that they did not like. So basically right now, yeah, like, people are just massively upset about it, but it is kind of the same kind of reactions that we have seen before. It's pretty much the same kind of thing that, from an outsider's perspective, all they could say is just, here we go again. However, some might be wondering that if I am an outsider, if I'm someone who doesn't really know Thomas or doesn't have much of a connection to Thomas, what do I personally think about this trailer? What do I feel about seeing this? And I'm gonna be very honest with you guys, and I know that I'm gonna get so much hell for this. I'm gonna get so much hate, but I'm gonna be real. I kind of like this trailer, actually. I think this actually does look like a great show. And the reason why I say this is that, of course, like, I know nothing about Thomas, but looking at it on its own, this actually does have the potential to look like a cute series that kids would definitely get attached to. And not to mention that I feel like this is actually very well animated. Like, let's just watch a little bit of some of this animation right over here. Like, let's just quickly check this out.
Thomas and his friends are ready for a new generation of fans.
Woohoo!
Thomas is the hero of every episode.
Always trying to be the best little engine I can be.
Or, like, hold on a sec. There's also, like, yeah, like, maybe this part can actually help out. Like, it gives out a better example for the animation.
It's all engines go as Thomas and friends embark on their wildest, silliest, most musical series yet.
Full steam ahead! See you soon!
So yeah, oh my god, and I already see in the chat wall, like, some people are just, like, I already see a few people already commenting is like, please say psych, please say, like, please say that you're joking, please say that this is a guilty pleasure. But no, I actually do unironically think that the animation does actually look pretty solid, especially for an animated series like this. Like the design, like, the design, for example, like the design of the characters, I actually do find that they do look good. The animation style is bright and colorful. So at least they got the look of it, like, just by the designs alone. Like, it's cute. It has, it has its own charm. It looks nice. And the animation, I would say it's actually very energetic. It's actually pretty smooth where, like, yeah, it does seem a little bit flash animation-y, but then again, it actually does, like, there are some moments where the movements can feel genuine. They feel lively. And on top of that, like, the movements, the poses, the expressions, they're comedic, like I said, they're comedic, they're full of life, they're a lot of fun. This actually does have a lot of potential to come out as a great series, and I can actually see some kids actually really enjoying this, that they could actually have a lot of fun. So, in my opinion, at least, I feel like with what they have shown as a series on its own, this actually does look like a very well animated show where, honestly, I feel like the animators actually did do a great job, where they actually did provide a great style for it, that they, you could actually feel like the animators wanted to actually create something fun, something enjoyable, something that the kids would actually like, where we would actually see this, this group of cartoon trains just having fun and be on their little adventures, where you can actually see that, like, right now, with the fact that Thomas is a lot more of a cartoon, that the animators are given a lot more of a creative liberty with this series. But with that said, though, again, keep in mind that this is all coming from an outsider's perspective of Thomas the Tank Engine, and as much as I do like this, like, even at that, even the things that I have said, those are also things that for Thomas fans, they absolutely despise, that this is just absolutely horrible, that this is a complete sin, and this thing must burn to the ground. But the question is, though, is just, why? Why is it that this seemingly innocent-looking animated kid show seem to be getting so much backlash from the fans? Why aren't the fans as involved? Like, why aren't the fans getting as involved in this? Why aren't they getting into this as much as someone like me, who knows nothing about Thomas and thinks that, oh, this looks cute, this looks fun, I could see kids having fun with this? Like, why are they liking this as much as I would? And that's honestly something that I looked into. I looked into all the different reactions of the Thomas fans. Like, I looked into reading the criticisms. I listened to what they have to say. I listened to all the explanations. And I think I managed to understand why. I think I know why is it that they hate this as much. Like they pretty much hate this as if this series stormed the Capitol or something like that. The thing is, when it comes to the Thomas fan base, there are very few franchises, or probably There are no there are no franchises. I don't know why I couldn't speak. There are no franchises out there that could be more of a traditionalist than the Thomas fans. And what I mean by a traditionalist is that for Thomas fans, the original series that started it all with this, like, and I mean like the actual TV show, I don't mean like the original source material with the books, but with the TV show, for them, it is pretty much holy. That this is the standard of Thomas the Tank Engine that you should not go and mess up. In terms of the tone, in terms of the style, in terms of the look, everything should be like that. And you guys may, like, even if you're not necessarily familiar with Thomas, then you may probably know about the tone of Thomas the Tank Engine, or even the look and the style of Thomas, where it's not necessarily animation, but it is that playset style. That it's very much using toys in order to go and tell the story of Thomas the Tank Engine, and the most animation that you would have is just the characters. Every time we cut to them, we see them with a different pose or with a different facial expression. That's the big thing with Thomas. And yeah, from time to time we do see by time they would go and gradually evolve this, and there would be some altercations from time to time within the Thomas franchise. Rather it be changing narrators, where they would have several of them, like like at one point they would have George Carlin, or at another point they would have Ringo Starr, or in recent years they would actually depict Thomas the Tank Engine as computer animated, so that they could stay within the tone and the style of the original. But this is all to say that for Thomas fans, the original is pretty much holy. It is pretty much sacred, that if you are going to make a Thomas adaptation, it must exactly be in that style. Anything that is outside of that would be sacrilegious. And when it comes to this series in particular, with season 25 of Thomas and Friends, this pretty much decided to take the tone, the style, the look, and everything that people know about Thomas and just go 180 on it. Like, this is all 2D. This is all hyper cartoony. This is a lot more, like, this really does emphasize more the cartoon. This one really is a lot more high energy. This pretty much is the opposite of how the show is compared to how it was back in the 1980s and stuff like that. And for the fans of the original series, and for Thomas fans, that is a massive no-no. That, for them, is the worst thing that you could ever do. And this is why nowadays we are seeing so much backlash over this series in particular, because this is nothing like the Thomas that the fans grew up and love. This is why there is so much hate. There is so much backlash. This is why we are seeing like this kind of like stereotypically angry, butthurt fanboy style reactions towards this series in particular, because this is nothing like the Thomas that they grew up and love. And because they are so personally attached to that series in particular, the fact that the only thing that resembles Thomas here is just the fact that it literally stars Thomas and Friends, and that's it. It's just the use of the characters and nothing more. For them, that's why they're so enraged. That's why they're so upset for this trailer in particular. It's because it really is nothing like Thomas. Now, then again, in my personal opinion, yes, I definitely do feel like a lot of the reactions are pretty much exaggerated, mainly because of the fact that at the end of the day, its biggest crime is just being a series. For the most part, like, if you look outside of the Thomas elements, this very much is harmless. I mean, it's not like it's doing anything controversial or it's saying anything bad to the kids. It's not like suddenly you see Thomas just like rolling in front of the screen and is just telling the kids, Hey everybody, just a quick reminder, Joe Biden cheated on the 2020 elections, all because of voter fraud. Trump should have had a second term. He's not saying anything like that, or he's not rolling up to the audience and saying, I have serious doubts about the effectiveness of wearing masks. No, nothing like that. He's not saying anything that is hurtful or harmful. The biggest crime that this show is committing is just being its own thing. And that's really the big thing. Like, if it were, like, I could say this right now. If it were its own series, if it were called like Choo Choo and Pals, and it has nothing to do with Thomas the Tank Engine, then this would have gotten a lot more praise. A lot more people would actually be cool with this. Because for what it has presented, it's actually a lot of fun. It actually does present a lot of potential, and I could definitely see how kids could actually enjoy it, because technically its biggest its biggest target audience is going to be for kids. It's going to be with that they are going to use in order to go and introduce new audiences for Thomas. Yes, debatably, like, I could definitely agree that it does seem like something that is targeted for kids more so than it is to go and target towards adults or towards already the major fans of Thomas and Friends. But then again, that is how the market is nowadays. I mean, like, why else do you think Teen Titans Go is still going on to this day and is still considered massively popular both on Cartoon Network and even on Netflix, where from time to time I actually do see it on the top 10 often. And that's the thing with Thomas, is that technically, like, if it wants to survive, if it wants to continue, then it has to adapt. And if it has to update in order to become 2D, in order to become a little more cartoony, in order to be more high energy and comedic, then so be it. I mean, like, yeah, I'm not like, this is not to go and antagonize the Thomas fans, because, like, that's their thing. And I mean, like, this is not to go and antagonize the Thomas fans or anything like that. And I mean, like, as long as you're not hurting anybody with the, as long as you're not hurting anyone with your love for Thomas, then honestly, that's perfectly okay. But for me personally, I do find that the reactions are a bit exaggerated when it comes to how people feel towards Thomas the Tank Engine, because yeah, like, a lot of it is really not that different from what we have seen towards the reactions of other animated reboots such as Teen Titans Go and Thundercats Roar, because really, at the end of the day, the biggest crime that Thomas is committing is just adapting to the modern times and try to be appealing to kids and to new audiences. So at least that's my thoughts on it. Again, this is all coming from an outsider's perspective on this Thomas series. But yeah, honestly, for me, I find it to be harmless. I find that it actually does really look good. I'll give credit to the animators at Nelvana that they did a pretty good job with what they have done with this, and yeah. I just figured I wanted to talk about this because the reactions of it has been so crazy. Like, they have been pretty much insane in terms of, like, how people feel about this new Thomas, and that people are just, like, bursting in anger how they feel with this. So, just thought I would go and quickly comment on that. Alright, so with that said, I would like to go into the chat wall, and I would like to ask, what do you all think about this new Thomas series, about the 25th season of Thomas and Friends? Do you guys find this to actually be good? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? And if you are a Thomas fan, tell me your opinions about this trailer, and why do you feel that way? Let me know what you all think. Okay, let's see what we got here. Hold on, let me start with something interesting. Okay. I understand that you are an outsider, and I still love your work, and nothing negative about you, but since I am a Thomas fan, I am so upset at Mattel over this reboot, and I am autistic. I love the original 7 seasons of the show, as well as the CG burner era, due to the realism which held Thomas for years, but the new series, CG Miller era, and BWBA are pretty bad, and this reboot is abysmal in my opinion. People say Disney is evil, but Mattel is totally evil, and I'm sorry for Wilbert Audrey and Britt Alcroft. Okay, so at least we got a fan's perspective of this. Let's see now. As a casual fan, I do not like this. I was chill with the modern era and even with the CGI era, but I can't with this. Mattel is... Whoops, excuse me. Mattel is... where was... sorry. I kind of lost my track there. No pun intended, by the way. Anyways, Mattel is making this show more dumbed down like the Land Before Time sequel, so I will just calmly stay away from this and stick with the classic series, and only the classic series of the show. Alright, let's see what else we got. I might not be that big of a fan of Thomas, but even I don't like this. Thomas was already made for kids, but while this is bouncy and cartoony, the original Thomas is very laid back, wholesome, and grounded, which made it stand out when compared to other children's programs, and as you said, the fandom is very traditionalist. You know when things are going bad when even Britt Alcroft, one of the creators of the original 1980s Thomas series, publicly denounced the reboot on Facebook. Oh, even the creators are going after this. All right. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Anyways, what else we got? As a Thomas fan, I will say that although I'm not a fan of this trailer, a 2D Thomas show could work. Hell, why not go balls out and have Thomas become human, and he needs to become a train again with the help of Will Smith. Oh my god. Just imagine. Oh my god, with that idea, I don't know how the Thomas fans would react. I think the mob would just go against you, dude. Anyways, but regardless, I will have to watch these episodes since I have to review them for a blog. Don't judge. I need to pay my bills. I know how you feel, dude. That's what I gotta do sometimes with my job. And with that, good night, and always remember, James murdered my dog. I see another Caddy fan there. Good on you, mate. Kill. Anyways, what else we got here? This is why I don't get into fandoms. I never watched the show, and quite frankly, the original freaked me out as a child. It looks cute design-wise to me. All these grown adults freaking out over a cartoon for kids 7 and under. Lord almighty, this show isn't for you. Same for Thundercats Roar and Teen Titans Go. This isn't for you, edgelords. Yeah, oh my god, imagine. Oh, that would be another interesting route for Thomas the Tank Engine. Imagine an edgy Thomas. Like, give it a bit of that Zack Snyder touch, and we'll just leave Thomas from there. Oh my god, imagine an edgelord Thomas the Tank Engine. Wouldn't that be something? Let's see, what else do we have? There we go. Great, another show that people are overreacting because it's a reboot. Why am I not surprised? Personally, I think the trailer looks cute, the animation looks charming, and I'm okay with them making the switch to 2D animation, and I'm sure the stop motion from the original series wasn't exactly cheap to produce, so even though I'm not a Thomas fan myself, I'm okay with them changing this up a bit. Okay, fair enough. What else do we got here? I might as well just read one more comment. I've seen the leaked trailer. I've been watching this series ever since I was little on a UK VHS. Well, only the seasons with practical models. I stopped watching it as I got older, but I do revisit them just for nostalgia, and only dipping into the CGI era sometimes. However, watching this trailer was alright, it's harmless, and the designs are okay for young kids. Plus, the animation is by Nelvana, who is known for Rock and Rule, and Babar, King of the Elephant series, so I think it's alright. So yeah, like, honestly, I'm just gonna say right now, I would not be surprised if people get pissed off at me for the things that I've said here with this particular story. I know there are a lot of people who are seriously upset with this, but for me, keep in mind, this is all from an outsider's perspective. This is all coming from someone who doesn't really know about Thomas the Tank Engine. So, honestly, for me, I find it's harmless. I find this well animated, so yeah, that's how it is for me. I guess that's the most that I could really say about season 25 of Thomas. And by the way, I did forget to mention that technically there is going to be a release date. they did state at the end that it is going to be coming on October 2021. So if you guys are ready for another wave of angry Thomas fanboys really going at it over this series, then yeah, be prepared for this Halloween when maybe monsters and vampires and all that kind of stuff aren't going to be the scariest things that will be coming out in October.